Jesus talks a few different times about the man who would try to save his life would end up losing it. But the one who would lose his life for Jesus' sake would find it. And Jesus means a few different things when he says that in the different places where it's recorded. One of those is in Matthew chapter 10, which we're going to explore here. It sounds a little harsh at first, but at the end of the day, it's very freeing. Here Jesus says this, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And anyone who loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And anyone who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." Now, it's important to understand that Jesus does not want us to take these words literally. We know that we're supposed to love our mothers and our fathers, even our enemies. We're supposed to love everybody. But Jesus is using a certain rhetorical speech tool here to make a big point, something called rabbinic hyperbole. Rabbinic coming from rabbi, which was a Jewish teacher, and Jesus was a rabbi. And hyperbole meaning a grandiose or outlandish statement, but to make a certain point. Jesus does not want us to hate anyone. But in comparison to the relationship with him, it would be almost like hate. Jesus and the Lord God is supposed to be our number one and far surpassing any other relationship or devotion that we have to anyone else. That's the point that Jesus is making, that he and God the Father are number one. And that was no problem for Jesus because Jesus was the Son of God and deserved that sort of devotion. But in that devotion, there's something very wonderful and very freeing. And I think about the Japanese samurai warriors with regard to this. Samurai warriors were the most feared in the land. They were so disciplined, they were so focused, they were so good at what they did. But the most important thing about the samurai warrior was that they were fiercely tied to the lord of their land. So much, in fact, that nothing else mattered. They would give their life for their lord. In fact, if their lord died in battle, the samurai warriors would often take their own lives because their life was so tied to the life of their Lord. And that's what Jesus is saying. Our lives as Christians should be so tied to his that we would do anything for him. We would take up our cross and follow him and give our lives for him on our own cross. But in that there is something wonderful and freeing because the mindset of the samurai was almost like this. I am so tied to my Lord that my life is his and I'm already dead. You can't kill me. There's nothing that you can say to me. There's nothing that you can do to me. My life has already been given. And that's why the samurai warriors were so feared, is because they themselves were fearless. And as Christians, that's supposed to be our mindset too. Our lives are already gone. Our lives are him. And though we would walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we would fear no evil because he is with us and us with him. And that's all that matters. Our life is his and it's gone, and we have gotten his life in return. If we want to save our lives, we'll lose it. But if we lose our lives for his sake, we will find it. And we will be in a place of fearlessness.